Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Today we're back at the Masterbuilt Smoker. Recently I got a request asking, could this smoker smoke things using charcoal instead of the propane that it came with? And my first reply was no. And then I started thinking about it and thinking, well, it really depends on what you're smoking. I don't think that it would smoke a brisket or a pork shoulder or something that had a lot of mass to it, that it would get up enough heat inside to cook it. Now you might get some smoke flavors and then have to finish it in the oven, but to completely cook it to finish, if you're talking 160 degrees, I don't think that the smoker will. But what I wanted to do today was try it. So let me show you what I'm going to smoke and what my setup is going to be. Alright, this is what we're going to smoke today. This is a pork shoulder. And I chose this because I wanted to choose a piece of meat that was relatively thick. Ribs can be thick in some spots, but not as thick as a pork shoulder or perhaps a brisket. I wanted to do a brisket, but where I get my meat from, they were all out of briskets. But as you can see here, this is relatively thick. And again, we want to see if by putting charcoal in the smoker, can we get thick pieces of meat like this up to temperature. Hopefully we can, and I don't have to stick this in the oven because it's quite warm out today and I didn't want to turn the oven on. But I'll wrap this back up and we'll go check on the coals here, make sure that they're ready to go in a minute. But what I have on the meat itself is it's basically a Memphis rub. I prefer rubs over sauces. My wife, she likes a good tangy sauce, so sometimes we do both, the rub and the sauce together, and it turns out pretty good. But there's lots and lots of recipes out there, but this is what I prefer when I smoke anything. I put that rub on there. Alright guys, let's again check the coals, see if this is ready to go in. Alright, so what I have is, you can see that with the shades, or with the shadows, sorry about that, is I have, so I've got the meat with the probe in the smoker itself. So we'll close this. And then what I have is a pan full of charcoal briquettes. I'll lift this into the smoker. I wanted to get a good hot coals down in there, and then in the center of that is where I have some apple wood chunks, not chips, but chunks. I need for it to smolder, not catch on fire. So we're going to put this in and see how she cooks. So as you can see, I do have the rope seal installed now, and there's no smoke coming out of the back or out of the front. It's all coming out of the back vent. So that rope seal really helps. And then here we are with our current temperature, 135 and climbing for the heat, and our meat is at 69 degrees. So we'll come back, check this periodically, and see how she does. So we're about an hour in, and I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up on this, but the max temp I had when I first put the charcoals in was 158, and it's maintained a pretty good temperature of 150. The meat is up to 125, and I think we started right around 59. So it's slowly getting there, slowly cooking. But again, as I indicated earlier, I don't think with charcoal alone you're going to get this up to the high temps. Now if I put my temperature gauge right into the charcoal, it's much hotter than 150, but because it's radiating up and filling this cavity, it's not getting it up to the high temps we would like. But I'm not going to call it just yet because we're only an hour in, so we've got several hours to go, and I will probably have to re-stoke the charcoals and then put some more chips in a bit. But there is still some smoke coming out of the back. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know, but we still got a slow smoke going here. So we'll leave this and come back in a little bit and check on it again. Okay, it's been a little over 2 hours right now, and I've gotten the heat up to about just a little over 160 degrees. So this is strictly heat. No, I've got no more smoke coming out, so I want to add some more wood chips and see if I can generate some more smoke, and that might generate a little bit more heat. All right, so let me do that real quick. So I've got quite a bit of ashes down here, and you can see where I've got some chips left. So I'm just going to move those around, and hopefully I can catch the backside to start smoking versus adding more. So let me just turn those over. So by just playing around with the wood chips that were in there, I'm turning them over so that the other side starts smoking. You can see I've got smoke coming out of the back. So we'll continue smoking these, see how long it's going to take. Alright guys, we're 4 hours and 15 minutes into this test. I'm still getting quite a bit of smoke from the smoker here, but my temperature, I've been able to regulate it and keep it consistent between 150 and 155 degrees. So for the last several hours it's been fluctuating in between that, but as far as the temperature of the meat, it is slowly gotten up to 135 degrees, and that's the max that I've had. And I'd have to say for about over an hour it's been at this temperature. So that's it. You can use the smoker with charcoal to get that smoky flavor, but you'll have to finish cooking the meat using the propane connection that comes with this, or putting the meat in the oven. But you cannot, in my opinion, get the temperature up to the right temperature to cook the meat for consumption. All right, so that's it. I'm going to call it quits on here. I'm going to pull this pork shoulder, go take it in the house, put it in the oven, and finish cooking it there. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you have any other questions or want me to try something else with this smoker, let me know, and I'm more than willing to, give it a shot and give my opinion on it. But as always, I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Until the next video, take care and God bless. So we've already made some sandwiches with this. I've sliced this so that you can have actual pork sandwich and not a pulled pork sandwich, and it turned out great. Just wanted to show you the finished product after it was cooked in the oven.